All right, I'm gonna try to do a little something different here. Try to do something on the mic. I'm not able to do videos like I used to, and this is a lot easier for me. So hopefully we can keep doing this thing. Um, Thoughts on TNA right now? Everybody wants to know my thoughts on TNA. Everybody thinks it's a sinking ship, and I just don't see it that way. I find it pretty entertaining, to be honest with you. I mean, yeah, there's definitely some holes in it, but for the most part, I usually look forward to Impact, and it's usually pretty good. They killed the AJ Styles character, which I definitely think they should have. He was going nowhere. It was booked horribly, in my opinion. I thought that basically the way it should have been booked is that AJ was the one that was like on the side, not sure what fence he should go to, where he should go to Aces and Eights or be with TNA or Main Event Mafia or whatever. Not pick a side, just kind of be in the middle. And then basically Aces and Eights was supposed to destroy everybody on the roster, and it would leave only one man that Dixie Carter would have to beg to come back to TNA to be on TNA's side to help them save TNA, and that would have been AJ Styles, and then AJ Styles would have won the title of Bound for Glory. I still think AJ is going to win the title of Bound for Glory, but I think that it could have been done a lot better, and AJ could have looked a lot better because now he just basically looks like a disgruntled employee that decided that he wanted to become a good guy because he missed the fans' applause. I don't know. That didn't really make a lot of sense. Aces and Eights looks like it's coming to an end, thank God. The problem with Aces and Eights has always been the talent. Bully Ray, I mean, he doesn't need to be an Aces and Eights. He could be himself, and if you put Tito at bodyguard with him, I mean, that's all they need. It could be Brooke, uh, uh, Tessmacher, Tito, and Bully Ray, and you're fine. You don't need Knox and Anderson and all that other garbage. Um, so yeah, I'm not for sure on that aspect, but at the end of the day, you see pretty darn good matches. There's still a ton of great talent in TNA. And that's a thing that I think people misunderstand about TNA is there's so many guys you get to see on a weekly basis that you would not get to see in a WWE show. So I have a big appreciation for TNA because I get to see guys like AJ Styles and Austin Aries and Kazarian and Daniels and Robert Roode and James Storm and Samoa Joe, and the list goes on because the WWE just isn't interested in these guys, which I think is a complete joke. When I heard that the WWE didn't want any TNA talent, give me a break, dude. You could use a lot of TNA talent. You could use Joe. You could use AJ. I think Robert Roode is perfect for the WWE. I think that guy is everything that they need for their company. He's the absolute best mold for them because he's great in the ring. He's a great talker. And he's not like a big high flyer or anything like that. He's just a great wrestler, and I think the WWE could use him, his intensity, all that. I think he's perfect for the WWE. Um, and then the fact that AJ basically doesn't have another alternative and he's forced to go back to TNA, and I don't really say he's forced to go back to TNA, but I'm sure they're lowballing him, and he deserves more money. AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he deserves more money. Um, you know that frustrates me. I honestly think Rampage and Tito going to TNA, I really haven't had that big of a problem with it. I mean, I think that Rampage has done a fantastic job. I knew that he always had it in him to be able to transition in the business of professional wrestling because he always had that character. He's Quentin Jackson, and when he goes in fight mode, he's Quentin Rampage Jackson, and it works out. He becomes Rampage, and he looks like he's totally comfortable on camera, and I think that he's doing a great job. And Tito, there's something about Tito with his words. He just always sometimes mixes up his words especially when he gets nervous or when he tries to like force feed lines. Like when Tito just talks from the heart, he's fine. But man, when he like feels like he has to say something, it doesn't come off that well. Now, granted, they've helped him out in TNA. They haven't made him talk a lot. But he has a presence. Tito has a presence. Rampage has a presence. I think that's the thing with King Mo. King Mo never had a presence. King Mo never looked like he was a threat to anybody. He just looked like a clown because he kind of is a clown. So yeah, I think Tito and Rampage have done a great job. I'm not so sure about hyping up their fight on Impact, and I don't know how far this thing's gonna go. I mean, are they gonna like have their scripted fight in TNA, and then like Tito's already hit him in the head with a hammer. I just don't know how well that will be to build the fight, but we'll see. But I think they deserve credit. I think they've both done a good job going into TNA. The Bound for Glory series, I think, is a mess. I'm not a big fan of it. And then it seems like no matter what's the point of even doing it when the last couple of matches you get 20 points. So it's like you and usually the leader never even comes close to winning. Like the guy that's winning like a month before Bound for Glory, and he never even comes close. It's like, what is the point in that? It's just stupid. Um, I enjoy some of their matches. I do think that their Bound for Glory series should be used to make more dream matches. Things that, like a babyface versus a babyface. Things like you don't think you normally would see. You'd be able to see at a Bound for Glory because it's based on tournaments. Um, I think that would definitely be better. Uh, don't even get me started on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan made the statement that basically TNA needs to give Eric Bischoff the keys and an unlimited amount of resources, and he'll take it to the top. Okay, first off, that happened in WCW, and yeah, it went to the top, and then it went right to the bottom. I mean, Eric Bischoff is not this genius that Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff like to make himself out to be. He's not. He's not this. He was a guy with an unlimited checkbook, and he was able to do some things, but that guy's a moron. Eric Bischoff has been proven to be a fraud. If you want to give a guy an unlimited checkbook or just even the keys to a company, it would have been Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman would have been able to book TNA extremely well. So Hogan, Bischoff, these guys are not needed, and if they're costing the company a ton of money to the point where they have to start doing budget cuts and all this stuff, that that means it's their time to go. And for I haven't had any problem with who TNA has cut. I know some people were upset that Joey Ryan was cut. Let me tell you something. Joey Ryan sucks. He has always sucked. He sucked in Ring of Honor. He sucks in TNA. I know all you PWG fans are all hyped on Joey Ryan, and because he's your hometown homeboy and all that stuff. The guy sucks. The guy is nothing to watch. His gimmick is terrible. It's like some stupid 70s porn star Austin Powers. He's a loser. I have no desire to watch Joey Ryan wrestle. I could find 15 other guys in the indies that are better than Joey Ryan. I don't care about Joey Ryan. So I had no problem with Joey Ryan getting released. And then Jesse Sorensen thing. I mean, here's my thing. Jesse Sorensen was never that good. He was never that entertaining. And okay, because he broke his neck or whatever the case may be on TNA television, they're supposed to give this guy a job for life? I don't think so. Why? They don't need to give him a job for life. He got hurt. Guys get hurt all the time in this business. Draw's got his neck broken. Did he get a job for life in the WWE? No. Give me a break. So, that's just part of business. It's like football. If a guy gets his neck broken in football, is all of a sudden he going to be with the team forever? No. It's a brutal reality. This is what you signed up for. This isn't ballet. And another thing, everybody criticizes, TNA's doing terrible, TNA's horrible, TNA this, TNA that. TNA's like Spike TV's top show, and Bellator has to follow TNA because TNA gets the highest ratings. So TNA is being used to promote Bellator, just like the WWE was used to promote Tough, the Ultimate Fighter. It's the same thing. That's the same type of model that they're doing. Now, granted, WWE got way bigger ratings than TNA did, but to say that TNA isn't doing well, I think is silly. TNA does pretty well. Could it do better? Of course it could do better, but to say that it's, going out of business and all this stuff. If anything looks like it's going out of business, it's Ring of Honor. That show is horrible now. And you've got Matt Hardy and Tommaso Ciampa and a bunch of people that suck. And there's no meaning to Ring of Honor. I mean, man, when Davey was feuding with Eddie to become the champion, and then when he became the champion, then Steen was like, against everything, and he was on his way to becoming champion, and like they had a lot of momentum. And now, I mean, I could care less about Ring of Honor, and their pay-per-view was a disaster. Like, not their actual pay-per-view show, but it never worked. It never worked live. The streaming issues, everything. Like, Ring of Honor to me is as dead as it's gonna be. I mean, there's nothing that excites you about Ring of Honor. I would much rather watch a TNA pay-per-view than a Ring of Honor show at this point. So, another thing about TNA that I think they deserve a lot of credit for is doing free pay-per-view shows on Impact. I think it's fantastic. Their ratings are usually the highest for the show because there's a lot of people that have never really gotten to witness TNA on pay-per-view, and I just think it's a great idea, and it excites me. I look forward to every TNA free pay-per-view show. Um, and I'll talk about the WWE also. SummerSlam was awesome. CM Punk versus Brock was amazing. And that match kind of got left in the shuffle, in my opinion. Like, it had a little bit of hype when they first announced it, and then when it became Daniel Bryan and John Cena, like that thing just took over. Like, everybody got behind Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk and Brock kind of was just there, and holy crap did that match deliver. I mean, we're talking match of the year candidate. That match was so awesome, and Brock Lesnar proved to everyone that he still can go, and he still is one of the best wrestlers in the world. Even though he's a part-time wrestler, there's something about Brock Lesnar beating the crap out of another human being, dominating another human being like he does, that's just so impressive. Brock is amazing to watch, and I get like schoolgirl giddy watching Brock beat up a guy, like just dominating a dude, kind of like I used to when Vanderlei Silva used to smash Japanese tomato cans. Like, you just know this guy's about to get his ass kicked, and it is so brutal. And yeah, Brock is the freaking man, and I'm definitely looking forward to his next match. And then the Daniel Bryan John Cena, the match was great, and I love some of the Ring of Honor type stuff, where the slaps in the face and all that. Like, they started to go for it. I thought the match definitely kind of died down. Like, the finish was just out of the blue. I thought Cena was going to kick out for sure. He didn't, and then I'm like, oh wow. And then you knew that it allowed some time, and then when Daniel Bryan was celebrating, you knew Randy Orton was coming out. When Randy Orton came out, you're watching Triple H like, don't you do it, Hunter. Don't you do it. And then he does it, and you're just like, oh, God. So, yeah, that was definitely disappointing, but um, I'm not big on the whole Randy Orton thing, and there's a couple of reasons why. First off, it's really like Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. Randy Orton's just kind of like the shadow guy that holds the belt, which I think is ridiculous. If Randy Orton's going to be champion, he needs to be the guy. Second of all, if he's going to be this new corporate, what the WWE Championship should look like, he shouldn't be wearing the same things Daniel Bryan. I mean, whereas he basically comes out with a shirt and tights and a beard. That's what Daniel Bryan has. So that makes no sense to me. He should be in a business suit, clean shaven. I mean, they should really go for he is this corporate dream of a champion, and they don't really do that. And then the fact that Randy Orton and Triple H still have like some type of little bad blood, but they're letting things go. I mean, the whole thing to me just doesn't seem right. And I'm just worried that Daniel Bryan is going to be kind of left in this thing, and back to mid card he goes. I mean, he's so over right now, and I think it's time to give him the belt. But I also think that Daniel Bryan gets really over as the underdog. But in the long run, he's going to have to overcome all the adversity and become champion for this thing to work. If they make him the underdog and he keeps falling and falling and falling and never actually get the payoff, then it's just going to be a disaster. Um, I don't really know what to think about Dolph Ziggler. Every time I see that guy perform, he's unbelievable. He's an amazing athlete. I love watching Dolph Ziggler. And they just, for whatever reason, the WWE just doesn't see him as a championship type material. And I think it's unfortunate. Um, what else is going on in the WWE that needs to be talked about? Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's gimmick is freaking awesome. He's unbelievable on the mic. His ring work is a little bit less what'd you say, less, it leaves you less desirable. I don't know, it's not all that great, but um you know, he's a stiff worker, it looked like, and it looks like he's going to be pretty good, but I don't know. I think he's going to lose momentum if something big doesn't happen soon, or because basically all it is basically a video package and a promo. I think at first they were like really over and everybody was excited, and now I feel like things are dying down. So, one more gripe I have is the Shield. What is this? Okay, so the Shield first comes in, basically talking about how they're here to stop the injustice and believe in the Shield, and then they basically tagged like guys like Ryback and Cena and Mark Henry, and now they're hired guns for Triple H beating up on Daniel Bryan. It makes no sense. They have no purpose. They haven't had purpose in months. A storyline that I kind of would like to see is it would be more like a like a Star Wars type thing where the Emperor was you know electrocuting Luke, and Darth Vader's just standing there watching it, and eventually the good in him comes over and says, you know what, no more, throws the Emperor out. But like with Seth Rollins, I would love for the Shield to just cross the line and just beat on Daniel Bryan so bad, and Seth Rollins couldn't take it, and then take out the Shield, and then Seth Rollins and Daniel Bryan have like an alliance to take out the evil empire. I think that would be pretty cool, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Another thing I don't like, this whole Cassius Ohno's physique is garbage, so we're not calling him up until he gets in better shape for NXT. It's stupid. I think the whole NXT thing is stupid. If these guys are indie wrestlers and they've wrestled all over the world, they don't need to be in developmental for a freaking year. It is stupid. Put those guys in developmental for like 3 months and put them out there, and they will outperform almost anybody on the freaking roster. It is a joke. It is a joke that Davey Richards has to try out to make the WWE. You should be opening the door of the freaking limo that he shows up in and say, "Welcome to your new job, sir." Try out. Are you kidding me? This guy's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and because he's what, 5'5", you're gonna make him try out? Or it is ridiculous. So, it's my wrestling thoughts, I guess. Looking forward to No Surrender. Looks like it's gonna be Austin Aries and AJ Styles, so that should be good. And looking forward to Night of Champions, yeah, sure, why not? Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan. Definitely don't think Daniel Bryan's going to win the title there. I think there's going to be some screw jobs and all this crap. Orton's going to retain, and this thing's just going to keep going. Interesting to see, how they handled the company without John Cena. And this is another thing that's just getting on my nerves. Look, at the end of the day, John Cena should have earned your respect by now. You guys hold this hatred against John Cena that is just ridiculous at this point. I booed John Cena, and I started doing videos in 2006 because John Cena represented everything that I hated about this business. He represented the change in the WWE. He represented a manufactured champion, a guy that couldn't wrestle, a guy that was just basically handed everything. And now we're talking at 2013. This guy is still there wrestling with a torn tricep. He's given you his blood, sweat, and tears. He's been having some damn good matches lately. He destroyed The Rock on the mic. He can hold his own on the mic with Cena, with Daniel Bryan. Nobody makes this guy look stupid on the mic. Nobody. He can hold his own with anybody. He has great matches now. I mean, he's had a great match with Dolph Ziggler, had a great match with The Rock, had a great match with CM Punk, had a great match with Daniel Bryan. I mean, John Cena deserves your respect. There's a lot worse out there. When people are like saying that The Miz is better than John Cena, that Wade Barrett is better than John Cena, that, like, what? Get your head checked. John Cena at this point in his career is pretty damn good, and his matches are box office, and he has become a big time player. So I think when John Cena is in the main event in a singles match, it's probably going to be pretty damn good. So I don't understand the hate towards John Cena. I'm not saying I'm a chain gang soldier and I'm gonna buy all his T-shirts and I'm gonna wear the red hat with the red shirt or the purple hat with the purple shirt and the wristbands, but I I'll pop for Cena at this point. Um, if it's Cena and Ryback, I'm not really looking forward to all that, but I'm looking forward to Cena CM Punk or Cena Daniel Bryan or Cena Dolph Ziggler or something around there. Maybe a Cena Rob Van Dam rematch. Sure, why not? At this point, I think Cena's delivered, and I think that he's proven that he'll give everything he has, 100%. And I also think at this point you just can't turn him heel. He's the poster boy for Make a Wish. He's a poster boy for the WWE. He's their money maker. So he just is what he is, and we'll just have to accept it. And I think that he gives us enough to at least give him respect. At least give him respect. Don't, like, when he says that he has to leave for 6 months and people cheer and chant yes, yes, yes. It's so disrespectful. The guy gives everything he has. Um, yeah, I think that's about it for the wrestling world, and I'll try to talk about MMA. There's a lot of BS going on with MMA right now with Dana and Tito and Rampage and Bellator and athletes and not fighters and more boring fights, and it's a hard transition right now because I really don't like what I'm seeing when you're watching a pay-per-view and maybe out of the 5 fights 3 are boring and they're technical, and you got guys like Rory McDonald who had a horrible fight, but then when he's announced the winner he celebrates like he won the championship. I mean, it's just pathetic. uh and then, God, Dana and Tito still fighting. These guys just need to let it go, man. They need to just have their separate ways. Why is Dana trashing Tito at this point in his career? What if Dana thinks that Tito and Rampage are such bums and buffoons and all this stuff? Like, just leave them alone. Say, you know what? They're not good enough to be in the UFC, and I don't want to talk about them. Bam, done deal. But instead, you talk about them, they talk about you, and then you make their fight seem bigger than what it is for the most part. A lot of people think the fight's a joke, and when you keep talking about it, it just gives the fight more credibility. So, I don't know. I don't know. But I'll talk about that at a later time. Till then, guys, take care, and hopefully I'll be doing this more often. Bye.